Hello, everyone. This is Mary Kurek with Frontrunners Innovate, and the smiling face that we have with us today is Dr. Renuka Thakore. And Dr. Thakore is in the United Kingdom, and she is a sustainability expert. And you know, if you've been listening to our podcast for quite some time, you know sustainability is really important, and the Sustainable Development Goals in particular. Through the United Nations, we embrace all of them, especially number 17, which is the partnerships for all the other goals. And as we know, nobody gets anything done by themselves. So if you don't get 17 done, you're never going to get all 16 before I'm done. So we're especially pleased to have her. She is also the founder of Global Sustainable Futures Progress through Partnership Network. And that kind of speaks to everything I just said. So, you know, we're sisters at heart, my dear. I think we're sisters. Yeah, we're after the same thing. So I can't wait to hear a little bit about you, because I think your background points you in this direction, but it's very specific, isn't it? So share with us.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here, and thank you for inviting me. So yeah, I am full of diversity. I'm a diverse person with diverse expertise. I did electrical engineer as a young engineer back many years ago, but I end up into the business with my husband, and I did construction business. I mean, we were in construction industry for a long time, where I got my understanding of built environment practices. But when it is something very strange that when my daughters grew up, I have two daughters, and they grew up, and we were very much fond of educating them and giving them international education. So first daughter moved here in UK while I was in India at that time. She went into the Brunel University. She scored first in her class, and she did very well. She ended up doing double masters in aerospace engineering and space management. And she has plenty of credentials with her, including Woman of Engineering in 2009, and the youngest director for President Obama in Space Advisory Committee. She's also a director in Royal Society of Astronomy, and she was the one who awarded Stephen Hawking an award. So, and she was the fastest driver of fastest car, like a driver of the fastest car in University of Bath. So she has plenty of things with her. She was the only lady who visited one island where there were 21 men, and she was the only lady as part of her team at X Prize. So I'm very proud of my daughter. I have another daughter who is also aerospace engineer and astronautical engineer. She has also done her master's in spacecraft engineering, and she's working with Airbus. And recently she was spotlighted by Airbus for her work with, I don't know, it is about 8th generation of satellites, where they are doing some work with climate change, data analysis, and other things. I don't know particularly too much about it, but
you must be mother of the year. That's what I say. You're mother of the year, if you can.
Yeah, and she was actually the youngest lady to maneuver a spacecraft, satellite. When it went out of its orbit, she worked overnight for 24 hours and brought that satellite back into the orbit. And she was awarded youngest scientist award by NASA. So I'm really proud of being a mother of two daughters.
No kidding. That is your best accomplishment, I think, right there.
Yes. Awesome. So as a personal level, I was a very good mother. To make them responsible daughters, and also I'm very proud that they have been able to contribute to the science world of I mean STEM, especially.
Yeah.
And very interestingly, when I moved to UK, I and my younger daughter were in the same class. So I came back to education, and I did my environment management first as a degree course again when I came back to education in UK, because that time I found that environment was a buzzword there, that how we can understand. And coming from the built environment and looking at the resources we used in construction industry, I was definitely attracted to see how can I make a contribution, or I wanted to just know what was environment management. But then it became my passion. I became a registered auditor with IMA for ISO 14001, and I did a research with British Standard Institution to see what was the financial return of this environment management. And I found that return of investment comes to over 4% to 6% as part of return of asset or return of sales. And that was fascinating study, which interested me more about knowing sustainability going further with environment management. So I broadened my area and I took master's course in sustainability in built environment practices. And that also gave me so much interesting, avenues to look at, including regeneration, green economy, and how we can bring our legislation, build on our legislation to move these sustainability practices further in our businesses and also industries. And I had an opportunity to work for the Mayor of London Green Procurement Code, which was definitely very, very interesting and a stepstone for me to move forward with these large organizations and looking at the wider picture of how we can manage our carbon footprint or how we can move towards low carbon impact, in the sense of like how we can, manage our business practices and reduce our carbon impact. So, and having that, I worked with Skanska, I worked with London Borough of Newham, London Borough of Lambeth, and I worked with Cancer Research UK. And fortunately, all my clients got first or second level award, which was gold or silver level. So it was immensely successful program. And through that, my achievement, I was able to get international scholarship at University of Central Lancashire, and I did my PhD in sustainability in built environment practices, where I brought my construction, housing experience and environment experience and sustainability and all together there. So mainly coming from the quantitative mindset, because I did financial analysis. And so I was more in quantitative analysis initially when I started my research career. I moved to, halfway, I found that qualitative is also very necessary. Qualitative research is also very necessary. That is into looking into people's perceptions, how people view this world. And there I found that there is a need for transformation of theoretical mindset. Like theories need to be transformed. Our decision making, which underpin those theories, traditionally we have been looking to any development from the economic point of view. But we need to look from social, environmental, cultural, institutional, and many dimensions. We need to understand that we have to transform our framing just from economic to multidimensional sustainability. And that was my product of my PhD. Alongside, I also understood that stakeholder engagement is the essence, because we all are doing our own work in a fragmented way. We need to bring together by engaging with the stakeholders. And following all these, I struggled, maybe due to my age also, I struggled as an early career researcher to impact on society through this understanding, through this knowledge.
Mhm.
And I thought that this might be the same situation for many of us who do not get opportunity. It might be the opportunity due to resources, might be due to time, or maybe they don't get any opportunity at all. They are not exposed to those opportunity at all. And that's why my mind went to Global South. And along with that, I can relate many other things going on, like climate change and inequalities and so on. But spatially, I thought that I need to help Global South to connect with Global North, because there is a wide divide. And I have my YouTube video, which we will put the link later on to show that why I initiated this network. And and what was my intention and what we are doing. So I'll stop here for now.
Okay, yeah. This was a very good background. And, you know, I had read into the environmental piece that I knew that you had done, did not realize you were into construction and engineering and all that in the background. So that is fantastic. You have an absolutely perfect background for doing what you do. And I love the piece where you started to mention legislation, because I really kind of feel like, and a lot of folks that work in impact feel like that policy is going to, for some of these countries anyway, policy is going to have to be the way it, you know, positive change happens in some areas that tap into the SDGs. And it could very well be that this is where we get to with sustainability, you know, is that, you know, it has to start somewhere. And, you know, we talked about the governance piece before we came on, and honestly feel like until we can get governing bodies on the same page as the SDGs and sustainability and get some of the politics to kind of melt down a little bit, you know, then it may be a difficult task until we can kind of get that done. I love where you're going with all this. And I want to ask you, because I read about the Global North and Global South, can you define that a little bit better for us so that everybody gets a clear picture of what you mean by that?
So actually, you know, Global South and Global North, there is a brand line actually. Many years ago, in 1970, we had a geographical line actually initially with Global South and Global North. But then what happened, that few countries in Global North were high income countries, and the others were low or medium income countries. At the same time, Global South also, but they were more in Global South, that they were low income countries and high income countries. So few patches. So now there are few patches of high income country in South, but not many.
Not many. Okay.
And therefore, based on the poverty line, this is very old concept, but now generally it is decided by the research institutions to show where we can fund or where we can transfer the fund from high income countries to low income countries, or how we can transfer the knowledge between the economies so that we can uplift the other economies. So that is where these Global South and Global North comes.
Okay. And I think along with that, you have to, anytime you're transferring something that big, that when you can kind of transfer wealth and that kind of thing, that accountability has got to come with it to create that sustainable path forward. So I get the whole picture for sure. So when did you start let me get my words straight, Global Sustainable Futures Progress Group? So tell me about that network, how you built it, when you started it. We kind of get the why now, but you know, when you started it and how you built it.
So, thank you. So in September 2019, I visited Brazil. And so it was a part of a workshop where I was visiting, which was looking at UK and Brazil relationship to build research and other, partnerships for the project partnerships and so on. So there I just on the last hour when we finished our workshop, there was an announcement that who want to champion to keep this going.
Yeah.
And I just raised my hand. Yes, I would be happy to do that. And that gave me so much responsibility, isn't it? That I came here. And, yeah. So raising hand was not that, you know, but
most people wouldn't, but yes, I can see that.
So I
Right.
said, okay, not to worry. So I started because the other lady there from Brazil was very enthusiastic. And within 4 days' time, we just became very homely and very friendly. And so I thought, okay, the lady is really good. Why not do something with her? And so when I came back, we started doing some online conversation meetings. And she stood up, she gathered a group of about 30 people also who joined our meetings. And then in March 2020, just before COVID started, she came here and I hosted a seminar in her presence, and she was very happy. Even my University College of Estate Management, who is also providing an in-kind support to this group, this my network. So in-kind support means that they are hosting my web pages for free, and they are also giving me Zoom account for free to host my meetings. So these are two in-kind support I'm getting for this network. Otherwise, the whole activity of this network is free, free to join, free to do anything. So yeah, that was the stepping stone where she came on in, and we thought about doing something bigger. Because in that seminar, I also invited people from UK, and they were also happy to do something more. But then it got stagnant because of this COVID. But in October 2020, I got a really good chance to see early career researchers of Africa. And there were 130 early career researchers. And it was a pity or a shame to that time that Future Earth, one organization who was doing this early career researcher event, they did not get anyone to speak on. And it was just a surprise. And they found me and they said, okay. I said, oh, all right, I will do something. And I just went there and I had a nice conversation, and people told me that, why not you start a WhatsApp group for us so that we can communicate it, or we can keep communicating. Yeah. So yeah, I said, okay, let's do that. And so we started something like that, but it didn't go well. I mean, we were not so active. Yeah. But then I said, no, let us do it formally. So on 1st of January, 1st of January, I just advertised, we are formally starting our Global Sustainable Futures Progress to Partnership Network out of just excitement. But it became so successful that today I have 1,600 coordinators from 133 countries, which I'm immensely proud that people are welcoming this idea and joining us. We have equal number of academics, business people, and individuals. We have equal number of male and female. We have equal number of early career researchers and senior researchers. We have everyone in there. Whoever wants to learn or whoever wants to share their work, share their experience. We have almost a good, healthy amount of number in each and every SDGs. So I'm really proud that we have made a multidisciplinary platform, which is free, transparent, and appreciated by everyone. And in that network, we do 3 activities. Mainly, we engage through social media, putting some posts. Every month, UN goal of the month is published. So we adopt that and we do some positive post around it. Or we also do post around our activities, which you picked up. And
Well, tell everybody else. Just because I know it doesn't mean everybody knows it. So go ahead.
no, so I will come to that. I'll
Okay.
come to that. And then we do specific events, which is like monthly events.
Mhm.
So every second and third Friday, we do GSFN, which is a short name for Global Sustainable Futures Network.
Okay.
GSFN Friday Idea Exchange Program.
Okay.
So we invite people to talk about their work, or if they want to propose any idea or anything. So it is just like a networking and capacity development platform. We have YouTube channel, and we also have TV channel. And I'm proud to say that this is the only TV channel on sustainability free for world. We have these things in place. We have all, normally, not all, but many of social media channels, social channels. And then we do particular projects like research project and educational activities. So today, we completed one 6-episode series, which was Shaping Sustainable Futures Together series, where we 3 experts like me and other 2. One is from Malaysia and one is from Netherlands. We 3 got together, and we delivered at the university, Belugia University in Philippines. We selected Philippines because, you know, Philippines is on a high risk list of climate change. And we need to make the public aware of what is sustainability and how they can get into it. I visited, I attended one conference at this Philippines university, and I saw the mayor speaking about how they want to change the dialogue of sustainability over there. And I grabbed that idea, and I met with the principal, and she was very much enthusiastic about this. And the whole team over there is very good. And we all got together and we delivered it. We had 300 people as our audience throughout the series, which was really good. And everyone will get certificate of attendance. And whoever has completed all 6 episodes will get certificate of completion. Likewise, I have also started AI and Python series, basic learning series. It is delivered by an expert from India, and we have specially connected with a university, with a training center in Africa who brings young students. And so initially it was focused for African students, but then we opened it widely, and it is today. Just now I couldn't join through that Zoom account just because the teaching is going on. Okay. Yes, these are the things. And I'm also leading on several research projects. One is especially I would like to mention here, which is Excellence in Education for Sustainable Development. And the short name for it is called STRIDES. And we are 40 researchers have from 32 countries have joined this project, and we are going to do several publications around it. And so this is the idea. I'm also a steering committee member of Future Earth, and so we are looking forward to do that. For this network, just 2 main things which we did, which was really, really impressive. Which one was annual conference. We did annual conference, and that lasted for 5.5 hours, and we brought expertise from all over the world, and it was a very rich conversation on sustainability practices. And the other thing which I'm very proud that we were called upon to do a event in pre-COP, Climate Fringe. And that also we did for 3.5 hours. And I called upon 24 my coordinators from 24 countries to talk only for 5 minutes, a snapshot of about what we are doing, like how they want to connect SDGs, climate change, and sustainability. So I will stop. So these are the variety of activities we do.
You've got a lot going on, and you're making, this is what I love. You're making use of every gift and talent that you have and all of your experience that you collected.
Exactly. And
that is the way it's supposed to happen.
Only one thing I would like to say on a personal basis for my living, I'm a researcher at University College of Estate Management. I'm a researcher at UCLan, that is University of Central Lancashire. But I'm also a sustainability consultant for very large organizations like Siemens or Amazon and so on, looking at that supply chain. So I'm a second party assessor for SMEs to liaise with, certified bodies. So that is my living. Thank you.
Doing really good. I saw lots of crossovers with things that we have going on and places where I think your expertise would be really useful, and potentially how to move some of the trainings and education that you've developed, and even some of the conferences and events that you've got going on where it might cross into other areas where I have a community connection or a partnership myself that can expand what you're doing. So I think this could be really great. And, I work with a sort of a smart city group out of the United States that's working throughout Africa that I think, because of your sustainable, expertise and construction background, that might be kind of interesting. So this is great. I want to ask you, in the short term, in the next 6 months, is there anything specific that is big that might be coming?
Yes. We are coming up with, like several programs, as I said, about education. Yeah. But also about mentoring now. Okay. Mentoring entrepreneurs. And now let me, so that as part of that, let me mention the project which you mentioned me initially, which was from De La Salle University in Philippines. And they have a program called Social Program with UNDP, and they invite students team to show innovative ideas. And in that program, I was a mentor to one team who got second place. And especially we were looking on how they can change the simple business idea more sustainable, bringing all the sustainable credentials and how they can contribute to SDGs. So that is the thing. And I am because the thing has happened that as due to COVID and due to other problems in the world like war, and also unemployment is growing, we are talking that we need entrepreneurship, but people need help for that. They need capacity, they need moral support, they need mentors to help them how to grow. Many of them do freely, but alongside they also struggle with finance. But my main
fundraising is huge.
Fundraising is a huge problem. Yeah. And especially when you have not showcased your action, no one is going to come and tell you that I'm trusting you, or I have a trust in you and you are doing. Because I have come across people who want to fund, but they have some basic criteria, which many of them don't have. So so what I have come up with the knowledge of my PhD and that we need to increase our own capability, our own leadership. We have to connect with people. And I think people need to have complementaries. like people need to be complementary of each other. And here I would take a bigger picture also, like human and non-human elements both need to be complementary, because I'm a system thinker. I say that you need human and non-human agents of our system. So for example, non-human agents are policies, nature, and all those. Human natures, we are human natures. And we both need to be complementary to each other. Because if we are in competition, then only one can win. Mm-hmm. And if we are complementary to each other, everyone wins. And that is what I want to spread the message to anyone, that be complementary. And if someone is doing better than you, then try to learn from them.
Make them your partner. Yes.
Sorry?
Make them your partner.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
That is what we are doing. Yeah. SDG 17, make your partner. And that's what I'm also looking forward, that people can come and partner with me.
All right. Well, that you just about answered the last question, which was, who do you need to meet to help you move forward? Do you have more specific identifiers for that?
I haven't identified, but I would definitely, I am seeing that many people or many organizations are interested in investing in people now, right? We are seeing that change, especially the people who are responsible or who takes ownership of ESG, right? Yeah. Environment, social governance. Mm-hmm. And therefore, and I also seen, for example, I'm not naming anyone, but I've seen that the Amazon and Google and they all give some money for educational programs.
And entrepreneurship too.
Yeah, and entrepreneurship, yeah. And I'm part of few like one program which is Kick Climate, started by EU. Mm-hmm. But what happens that I have not been able to tap into that opportunity yet. So I am looking for people who really want to do something for worldwide, mm-hmm. and for this better cause, which I am sharing with you. Mm-hmm. And if they can help me out with anything, that would be really good.
Okay. Well, how they get in touch with you or how they join this organization, we'll put some information along with this interview. But basically, I think there's a form to fill out, correct? If you have interest in joining. And so you would fill that out and submit it. And as long as your heart's in the right place and your endeavors are legitimate, then.
No, the thing is that, because we are in GDPR, we are having like in UK and Europe, we have GDPR. So that's why we are asking them to fill up a form. Mm-hmm. It is a very short form. They might leave everything blank with their name and email address if they don't want to disclose. But they have to answer the question that whether they want to, whether we can approach them through email. And that's why we are having this short form. It also helps us to know the diversity of the network. And if they fill up some forms, like some more information of SDG and their projects, then we have a, we know where to go if something comes up. So it is actually helping people. And that's why we are trying to get some information when they join our network. Okay. But there is no commitment for this network that they have to always join an event or always be active or anything like that. Be active or passive, just exploit the network whenever you want. And that is what I'm telling people.
I think it's the best way to be. And it sounds like some real efforts are creating impact. Some really solid efforts are creating some impact globally. So for something that's so young already, you've really amassed quite a community of doers. So really proud, really, proud to be connected to you and your efforts there. And so I want to tell everybody that might be watching, if you're seeing this on YouTube, go to www.frontrunnersinnovate.com. Well, you will see this interview, also the video that she's sending us, the companion video, and some more information, and certainly the link to the form so that you can fill that out if you so inclined to be a part of this wonderful network. So I want to say thank you, Dr. Thakore. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, if you'll stay with me, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody else.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.